Hi, this is Janet, and this is my Prezi on ADHD and understanding students. According to the National Survey of Children's Health, approximately 6.1 million students were diagnosed with ADHD in 2016. 2 to 5-year-olds was 388,000. 6 to 11-year-olds was 2.4 million. 12 to 17-year-olds was 3.3 million. And those receiving treatment through medication was 5.2%. Just treatment alone was about 47%. And then a combination of the two plus those that receive no treatment whatsoever, it's about 77%. The number of students diagnosed has increased. In 2003, there was approximately 7.8% of students that were diagnosed with ADHD. That increased to 9.5% in 2007, and then 11% in the 2011-12 years. That was in kids aged 4 to 17. In kids 2 to 5, between the years 2007-8 to 2011-12, it increased by 50%. That's a very significant increase. Specific behaviors, inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. Inattention, some signs and symptoms. Make careless mistakes in class, don't follow directions, don't read the directions. They're easily distracted. Somebody comes in the room to talk to the teacher. They're watching them instead of doing their work. They have trouble organizing. Their desks are usually a mess. Lockers are a mess. Crumpled up assignments at the back of their desk that should have been turned in 2 weeks ago. That's where you'll find them. They lose their homework, they lose books, they lose their jackets. They just have a hard time staying organized. Hyperactivity and impulsivity kind of go together. They fidget, squirm, can't sit still, constantly up, roaming the classroom, interrupting the teacher. They're impatient, they can't wait their turn. And they blurt out instead of raising their hand, waiting for the teacher to call on them. These behaviors don't just affect their own learning and performance in the classroom, it affects others too. The other kids get distracted. They may not show it all the time. They may look like they're just ignoring it and moving on, but it makes it very difficult for them to concentrate on what they need to be doing when that other student is misbehaving and causing a disruption. And at the same time, the ADHD student is frustrated too because they're not getting the attention and the help that they need. So it's hard to find that balance. So they don't always complete their assignments. They have trouble working in groups. They can become very argumentative. Or maybe they just walk away and decide they don't want to do it anymore. They talk a lot. And that irritates the other kids, especially when it's during their quiet work time. And that student is causing a disruption. Sometimes they appear to be spacing out. They don't hear the teacher's directions. They don't hear that they were supposed to bring their crayons with them because they were going to do a special project or bring their scissors to class. A lot of times they just forget a pencil. Don't bring their math notebook. It's a variety of things that they can forget. Do all students with ADHD have the same symptoms? Do they have the same behaviors? No, absolutely not. Everyone is different, whether you're ADHD or not. Sometimes behavior can be a bigger issue than just getting them to pay attention in class. Sometimes they lash out when the teacher has asked them to do something a little bit different. They like normalcy, they like that structure. And all kids need structure in the classroom, but ADHD kids, they really need that to help them feel more on an even keel. And not all ADHD kids have that behavior problem. Sometimes it's very mild and all they really need is just a little bit of intervention. Maybe it could be just giving them extra time on a test. It doesn't have to be extra time in the resource room. Sometimes they just need that little extra time. The categorization for ADHD, there is no specific categorization. It's most often grouped with other health impaired in that category. Once in a while they'll put them in the category of specific learning disabilities or severe emotional disturbances. But either way, it takes a team to decide whether that student qualifies for IDEA help. And that team usually consists of their teacher, their parents, the principal, school counselor, sometimes they'll have a note from their physician, but it's not just one or two people that makes that decision for that child. And the child's input is important as well. They need to hear from that kid. Class-wide interventions. It can include a combination of several different management practices. When the teacher needs to get up close personal, have that close work time, makes it easier to monitor their behavior and maybe notice a little bit sooner when they're starting to escalate, so they can help them decompress, or give them options of how to decompress. Class rules. Set those right away. They need to understand that there are certain expectations for the classroom. It helps keep the class organized and productive for all the students, not just the ADHD kids. Increased OTRs, questioning, prompting, and cueing techniques, asking questions like, what letter comes after M? Things like that. It helps increase the number of active responses and helps them engage those shy kids that don't like to give their answers out loud and because they're afraid they might be wrong. Helps them as well. Increased contingent praise. Catch them being good. Let them hear that praise. All kids need to hear that. I like the phrase, you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. And that's true for anybody. And praise just, it's a great motivator. It's a great motivator. Feedback, error correction, and progress monitoring helps kids learn the correct response in a timely manner. Losing my train of thought, sorry. Giving them the correct response. If they're trying to work through a problem, and it makes it difficult when you tell them, no, you're wrong, try it again. That gets frustrating. You need to be able to give them the correct response and help them work through it so they can go on to the next and feel good about it. The GBG, Good Behavior Game, contingency. It's a contingency thing. It helps reduce disruptive behavior, aggressive behavior. It helps those shy kids, and it promotes good behavior by rewarding teams that don't respond like they're being bad sports. They're having a behavior problem. Give them something to look forward to. Give them that something fun to do. And my citations I've listed here. Ooh, can I move that over? Sorry about that. That cut that off. I will try and move that over. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your time.